send your trailer through into orbit and throw the tractor around something chronic. So always good to drive over that carefully. Alrighty. This could be a good farm to buy as well, although it's got pigs. I would have to do piggies. And this field up here. So now we get to drive through the river. Whoosh. Neat. Unfold the thing. I'm not going to bother with the doobie on the front because we don't know what the soil level is. Oh, okay. Is that good for you? Yeah. Since we already set this up for GPS running, we can just do this. Oops. Oops, that one. Okay. Go down to here. And try not to hit the trees. Yuck. Awesome. Now I have to remember to turn on and off, not raise and lower. So back to the left-hand button. This field already got done once, and unfortunately my sprayer boom is not conducive to the tram lines on this field. Not that it matters. Turn it off, turn around, do the next row. How's the fertilizer? The fertilizer is not sure. It's a little bit. It's going down a little bit fast. Okay, I'm guessing I have another row on the right of me. I might ignore that. I'm hoping that we get this done with what we got. I hate to have to go to buy some more. Anyway, so how are we doing with this? Okay, we now have 2 tanks of methane. We are almost out of slurry, so we need to watch when to turn that off. Got 23,000 litres of manure, so that's fine. So this is the fields that didn't quite get destroyed by the tornado, but the trees along the edge of it did. And then straight through across the train tracks and went rampaging through my field. I actually got oh no, a tornado has gone raging through your field and destroyed stuff. And so I went out to look at it, and he's like, nah, no, it didn't. Well, it did, but it didn't. And that was actually the second tornado we had. We had another one in April, but it was nowhere near our farm. It was like... It was like, I think, way up here somewhere. where the crops weren't ready. Oh, there's the drain. So two tornadoes, not serious so far. Hey, I'm playing on a map that has tornadoes, realistically. At least I think they do. Well, yes, they must do. Because the millennial farmer lives in Minnesota and he lost his grain bins to a tornado. And a shed, I believe, because he ended up building a newer, bigger shed to put all his tractors in. We're down to 890. Ugh. We might run out of fertilizer. We're 40% done. There's the train. Hey, train. All right. Do that and do that. Now, apparently, okay, so for Farm Sim 22, the Kubota DLC gave us the ability to carry other players in a vehicle we were driving. So you could have someone in the jump seat in a tractor. You could have multiple people in a car or a pickup, which allowed you to play a little bit more realistically. And theoretically, you didn't have to be have to have the teleport between vehicles thing, because there was no need. Okay, I just noticed the weeding dude's finished. I'm down to 600 litres. Well, 200 going back. That might be sufficient to finish this off. But anyway, apparently the Mercedes DLC has got some other fancy gizmo. Not sure what it does, but that seems to be a thing. And we are at the end of this row. $490. Okay, we'll turn that off. We'll go find this guy who's finished weeding this field. I'm going to check. Weeds. Okay, so we got weeds here, we got weeds here. Everything else is clear but has lots of rocks on it. I think I had tram lines on that field. That's unfortunate. Okay, so we can go straight ahead. Oops. Down to half a tank of diesel, that's fine. Just need to go over here. So we go over to this one. With any luck, we end up over in that corner. So we can just drive straight out onto the road. For now, go worker. Alrighty, let's I am not sure if there is another row here. I think what I'm just going to do, we'll line up on this headland and see how far we can go. Alrighty, that's on go. We're already at 60%, so if we're lucky, we get all the way around this field. Well, not even, but we clear up a whole big percentage here. I might have to go and pick up some little bits in the middle. I hope that the tram, well, it doesn't look like the tram lines are affecting anything. We are still spraying where the tram lines are. We're getting the benefit of 2 applications of fertilizer, so not a problem. Oh, that used to be in Farm Sim 17. Weeding was a fertilization option. And I think that was one of the reasons why they removed the option to, or they removed the ability to do 3 stages of fertilization base game after that. And they just went with, you only have to do 2 because we're removing weeding as an allowed fertilization step. And instead, we're adding weeds that you have to pull or spray. So the weeder actually became a functional weed destruction device as opposed to a fertilization device. I am concerned that we do not have enough fertilizer in the tractor to do all of this. We're up to 79%, if possibly make it to 82, but don't think we're going to go much beyond that. However, we are conveniently placed for our little pickup truck. Now, one of the things you can do to cheat this, instead of running the sprayer on auto, you can run it on manual and reduce the application rate. That's probably a little bit naughty because, yeah, you still get the benefit of, hey, you've sprayed it twice, that doesn't matter. But you don't use the amount of fertilizer you're supposed to use to do this. Okay, 15 litres left. And now we're going to go through it in like 2 seconds. And stop. Okay then, let's go find the pickup truck. So, job's 86% done, the weeder's doing the weeding. We're off to town to buy some fertilizer. Do I want 2 packs or 1? I'm kind of, we only really need 1. Obviously, it's going to use some up for this field. And then, actually, no, it's going to be May, June, July. It'll be July before we need any more. We're only going to be spraying on the grass field, and the grass field doesn't use much anyway. It's only if there's another contract that we're going to need more spray. Alrighty. This is an awesome vehicle. I'm not sure it should be reading 60 because we're driving in America. We do it miles per hour here. Okay, do that. And purchase consumables. Seeds, and I need a pallet of seeds, so we can just... No, I don't. Do not need a pallet of seeds. I need consumables. I need a pallet of liquid fertilizer. I bought that by accident, first time out. And we need 1 pack of, so 1 buy, yes, very expensive stuff. And then 25 kilos, no idea, that's about 50 pounds, 55 pounds. Yeah, that's kind of heavy per pack. Alrighty, let's close the tailgate, strap it on. Off we go. Beep beep. Doesn't have any moving parts for turn signals, I've noticed. Also used to be Farm Sim 17, maybe 19. There used to be a mod that mapped the keypad buttons 6 and 5, 6 and 4, so you could press those and glance left, glance right, and see what's coming. You didn't have to get out of the, you didn't have to play with that. Or I just remembered I can play with that. But then 5 used to center the view, so nothing changed. You're always looking in the same direction. There are buttons in American Truck and Euro Truck that do that. Dude, don't slow down. Oh, he's going my way. Of course he is. And east 25. So speed limit on this road? 60. Okay then. It looks like he might... No, we are catching him. There's double yellow lines all the way, so... not exactly legal to pass this guy. He's doing 50, 48, definitely more than 40. I'll stick about 50. I could turn right straight across that field there. I'm not sure you're really supposed to do that. Still nobody behind me, according to the mirror. Okay, take it easy, don't want to flood the engine. And there's our tractor. That's probably close enough. There we go, and fill. Nice. This guy is doing his thing. This is quite close to the end. Probably about 4 rows plus a headland or two. Nice. That's nearly full soon. I'm going to take this back over here. Alrighty, we are there. It's unfolded. Turn that back on, turn that back on, and off we go again. So, got more than enough fertilizer to get us to the end of this job. How are we doing on time? It's 11 o'clock. I am good with that for now. Actually, Mrs. Osa's taking advantage of no kids this weekend, so she's still sleeping. I was going to have a bacon sandwich this morning. I baked some bacon yesterday. So all it needs to do is, go in the microwave for a minute, 2. You can have a bacon sandwich. Unfortunately, Mrs. Osa's sleeping, so don't really want to be beeping microwaves while she's sleeping. So we'll wait till she wakes up. Then I'm going to have my bacon sandwich. I honestly don't know what else to eat. She made a ham and pasta alfredo yesterday. Which was quite good. We've got a bunch of uncooked ham. And we're sort of struggling for recipes to use it in, because it's not a spiral ham. It's not a ham that you would have for Thanksgiving. It's sliced ham, uncooked, and the slices are thick. So we didn't use that much. So it's sort of, and you look up recipes for ham, and it's all for leftover spiral ham and stuff like that. It's like, no, that's not what I want. I want a recipe where I can use raw ham, cook it in something, and make a nice meal out of it. So it turns out that potentially you could use the sliced ham, because, like I said, it's cut thick. You could use it like pork chops. So that's one of our options. We need to get paid. Okay, get paid. Collect. Yes. No active contracts. So we still have a hoeing contract, which I would like to get done. Which is actually up by town. But I might be able to do that tomorrow. What am I doing at the moment? I am doing the second hoeing field? Field. Oh, this is going to generate 4, 5. 5 IBCs of liquid fertilizer. So, question